Welcome back, everyone. As you can see, it's a gorgeous day here in northern Arizona, and I wanted to go out for a nice relaxing ride, get some more break-in miles in on the bike, and I realized that I have not recorded any footage yet on the new 800E. So here we are on the new bike. You're getting a nice good look at it, and I thought what I would do today is just spend a little bit of time talking about my experience so far in the 800, a couple of things that I've noticed, some things that you might be noticing right now. So this is going to be a lot of me talking today, but let's jump in to the Ibex 800. So as I talked about in the last video, I'm pretty good now as far as getting it all set up, how I like it. I've purchased all the accessories that I'm going to purchase. I've tweaked all the suspension settings, gotten everything kind of the way I like it. I've adjusted the new windshield to the height where I think I will probably keep it. It's just high enough where it's cutting out all the buffeting, even with my peaked adventure helmet, but I can still see over the top of it when I'm looking sort of down the highway, which is what I wanted. I'm getting pretty good wind protection on my chest and on my helmet. I'm not getting blown around, so that's good. Regarding the TFT, I've got it situated now in a way that I kind of like the angle, but as I mentioned in that last video, it is adjustable. But I do have a glare reducing screen protector on it as well, which was why it looks a little bit more like matte finish now. And I like it. It seems to be just the right amount of glare reduction, that it's not hard to read, but it is blocking out a lot of that glare. So that's great. I'm in rain mode right now, which you can see right there. Which is the mode I've almost exclusively been using, just because it's very gentle. It doesn't have any like real strong jerkiness in the throttle, which I like. I can very easily put it into sport mode, which I'll do right now. You just push one button and switch it to sport. As long as you're off the throttle, it goes into sport mode, and it definitely has a lot more juice in sport mode. I'm going to put it back in rain though. One observation I've made is that the speedometer is definitely off, and people have talked about this in forums. You know, it says I'm going 61 right now. I'm probably going 56. I would say it's a good 5 miles per hour fast, which is a little disappointing considering the cruise control does lock out at 81, which means I really lock out at 76-ish. Which is not great for some of the interstates out here. It's a little disappointing. So I do have my Go Cruise connected as well, which seems kind of redundant. This has cruise control, but there may be some stretches where I need to kind of cruise along at 85, in which case I can always use the mechanical cruise. So I've kind of got both worlds going. I really got this thing dialed in on my iron butt ride, and so I really like it now. It's a great solution. I know it's a little sketchy having something sort of pinning your throttle, but it's there if I need it. A couple other things I've noticed, the wind protection on the hand guards is like meh, but I mean they're very small, so they just don't have a lot of coverage, and they're plastic, they're cheap. We'll see how these last. They do the job sufficiently, at least moderately sufficiently for now, so we'll keep those. The accessory lights do not auto turn on, so if I want the accessory lights on, I do have to turn them on every time I get on the bike, every time I start the bike, but they do indicate on the dash when they're on, so that's nice. I'll probably just ride with them on all the time just because it's extra safety. Speaking of the lights, I did go out a couple nights ago on my first night ride because I was really nervous about how the lighting would be on this bike. I really like my new lighting setup on the 450 with the accessory lights, and so I was nervous that like these factory accessory lights were going to be kind of meh, and they're great. They are perfectly adequate at night. The only thing that kind of bums me out about the accessory lights is that they only have one setting. So when I flip to my high beams, the accessory lights do not also go to a high beam. They are just one setting on. So a little bit of a disappointment, but when I do put the brights on with the accessory lights, I get a ton of light. So I am not worried about overall lighting on this bike. I think it's going to be perfectly adequate for riding in those few hours in the morning and in the evening on this ride. So I'm not worried about lighting. I've really got the TFT dialed in. So as you can see, I'm in this mode right now where on the left side, I've got some numbers. So I've got the tach, I've got my speed, I've got my tire pressures, fuel range, and engine temperature. At the top, I've got my lights are both on, my regular and accessory lights, and also this guy here is telling me that my rear radar is working, which is a really cool feature this bike has. And of course, time, which is fantastic. Now, once you go over 20 miles per hour, you can no longer touch the screen, which a lot of people complain about. I get why they do that. It is kind of a safety concern. So you really have to kind of get stuff dialed in as far as your navigation before you start, or you have to pull over to get that dialed in. But I like this mode a lot because it allows me to still get important numbers, but then also have a kind of a pretty full-size CarPlay map. I can switch back to the general mode, which I'll show you right here. If I hold down the star button, it goes back to the primary mode, which is this guy. So I don't get any navigation in this mode, and I don't really get anything of value in this mode, other than it tells me my battery charge, and that's really it. Oh, and it tells me my overall odometer. But that's it. And it also does this weird pulsing thing in the middle, which I can't figure out what governs that. So I almost exclusively keep it in this mode because I get everything I want without the pulsing. I still get the radar indicators when they happen, and I've got my full CarPlay. Additionally, if I push the function button, I can bring up my trip meters and whatever else I program into this interface. Right now, this interface is set up so that I see my maintenance interval, my current miles per gallon as I'm going. So it's 56 right now, 57. And then also my 2 trip meters. This one I just reset at my last fuel up. This one is my total trip meter since I bought the bike. So I'm averaging about 50 miles per gallon on this bike so far. And this is all programmable. I can change the modes in here, which is great. I'm gonna go back, turn that off, go just back to normal mode. I can use Siri to talk if I've got my helmet wired into my phone, which right now I don't. So I can talk to Siri and say, play music, display this, display that, change this setting, change that setting. What else? Right now I've got this set in what is called classic mode of the interface, which I like. It's a little bit more kind of old school. There is a sort of smart mode, which I just didn't like the look of it. So this is the mode that I'm currently running. So now you can see it's brought up this interface mode here. And I can go into the settings, and this is where you can go in. Oh, it's reconnecting to my phone, so give me a moment. Let me show you this first. So see, I've pushed the CarPlay button now, and I've got a smaller map, and then I've also got my turn-by-turn and my media if I'm playing music on, say, iTunes. I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to hit exit, and this brings me into the CFMoto settings. And so here's where I've got all my Bluetooth headset settings. There's also a pull down from the top where I can always pull down my trip meters and such. You can see I'm already getting my greasy fingers on here. We've got the motorcycle settings in here. These are all, this is the blind spot monitoring. This is the real-time, this is like the backup monitoring, and this is the emergency braking. So I've got all that stuff turned on right now. I can turn it all off though if it got annoying. Right now I've got the quick shifter turned off just because I haven't really started playing around with it yet, but I will turn that back on at some point. You can see I've got my forbidden touch speed set to 18 miles per hour. Here's where you set your screen adjustment. I've got it on the dark mode right now, but you can also do light mode, which is this mode, which is actually kind of nice right now in this sunlight. I might put it on auto and let it kind of do its thing. It also has adaptive screen brightness, which I've just got it kind of cranked all the way up right now. Here's that classic mode I was telling you about where it shows you all the stuff on the side. I like that. And then in here you can go in and you can change your RPM warning. I've kept it on 6,500 right now because that is what you're supposed to leave it under for the break-in period. This is just all media settings, which you can also do from the control panel. This is what your function button does. And so right now I have it set for these 3 things or these 4 things. You can also turn the map from your function key. I kind of like that. I might turn that on. Custom button, which is the star button. You can use that to pause and play music, which is very cool. Intercom, I've got 24-hour turned off, set automatically turned on. Imperial, this is where you go in and you set your units. This is where it also tells you your OS version, which I did just update. So that's it. If I go back to here, there are more settings in here. There's Moto Play. Never tried to go in here. Yeah, I think I'm just going to not do that because it's probably going to tell me I need to sign up for a subscription or something. So we'll just kind of cancel that. But then all the stuff you can do just normally in CarPlay. So there you go. There's the sort of tour. I'm not used to this daylight mode. And that's gonna do it. So take care, everyone. Be safe out there, and I look forward to these next 3 weeks. I'm really getting excited. It's gonna come so fast. All right, bye.